Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends, where friends gather to explore the world of the Aria and play Dungeons and Dragons. And speaking of friends like you, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. When last we left the friends, they had made their way to the little village of Forest Grove, in search of a missing girl. A quaint place upon first look, but scratch the surface, and Forest Grove is not the sweet little paradise that it pretends to be. The friends are discovering this as they go along. After finding friends of the girl, the friends are discovering even more about the town and the girl herself. You are back from the Jangle Farm within the village proper. A blue cat sits there waiting for you, looking up at you. What do you do?
We are headed to Mamatar.
Gaius, you remember what seems to be the house that belongs to Mamatar. It's over in the Geechee.
Mm-hmm.
And as you go over there, you notice a lot of... all the houses are up on stilts, because it's the low part of the land.
In blue, Abu Di Abu Da.
Exactly. A lot of the doors are this blue that is kind of... well, it's very, very similar to the Grognard and Friends blue, as a matter of fact. It's that kind of mix of teal and turquoise kind of blue. It's very vibrant. It seems to be a good amount of the doors, and the homes that have it on the doors also seem to have it on all the window frames. Everyone give me a perception check, please.
16 for your boy Gaius.
Big
Okay.
ol' 3.
I got an 11.
Well, Gaius, you and Reed notices this too. Not all of the buildings in the Geechee have the blue doors and blue window frames. There are a few that do not. Reed, something that you're noticing that's a little new is that some of the houses in front of them have bushes, and some of them have trees and such, and trees behind. A good number of the ones that have the blue doors have blue bottles hanging from trees, and if they're bushes that have been kind of trimmed so that the branches are cut short and stubby, blue bottles stuck on the branches around the house. So you get down there and you pass. There are a few houses that don't have the blue. They seem like little houses on stilts. But towards the end, kind of further back, actually past the tree line, just a little bit into the woods, is a small hut, not on stilts, but actually built upon stubby trees. It's a small kind of hut. It looks like it's made out of tar paper. There's no blue anywhere. It's just this kind of black tar paper. The stilts, as I said, are not stilts, but actually living parts of the wood. And in the front, there has been manufactured a kind of ladder from interweaving branches up to a little porch before the door. And that is what, Gaius, you remember was said to be Mamatar's.
Is that where the Mamitar lives?
Yep, that's not how you say her name, but yes, Is it a? Oh yes, yeah, it was a she. Correct. Yes. Anyone? Anybody?
I
Anyone?
Oh.
No.
believe so.
I'm probably
I've
not the
gotten.
one to ask.
The mayor's house. It was. They said the mayor was afraid of her, or
Is that what?
she
I
gave
couldn't remember.
him.
All right. So yeah, that's where Mamatar, I believe, is the only. It is the only shack.
Right. This is the one that just seems to fit the description of what you were told, besides the fact that it's not actually on stilts but part of the trees, and that it seems to be a tar paper shack.
Eldred is with us as well, right?
Correct.
And how about the blue cat? Has it followed us here?
It actually stayed up on the road.
Interesting.
And before you left the road, it just kind of stopped moving and sat and just watched you go. As you were going in front of the houses, you see Miss Kitty, who is the one that you spoke to, coming back towards the houses. And she says, "Oh, adventurers, 1 second." She says, "Talia, the estate needs you back. They need you to do something. They need your help in some preparations. So they'll be waiting for you right away." And Talia turns to all of you and basically says, "I'll see you later, or tonight probably."
Hopefully,
And
travel safe.
turns and heads with Miss Kitty back up towards the mayor's estate. So after they go, you continue on and you find yourself now before this tar paper shack on basically living stilts.
Mama tar paper.
How much weight
Should
does the
we-
ladder look like it will hold? Should Reed or Butt Trumpet be the one to go up?
It looks like, I
Not
mean,
nothing.
they're thick like branches that it's kind of like V's. They're not real level
Okay.
because it looks like it's using the living trees to kind of form it, and they're kind of weaved in and out to give this feel. So they like some of them are thick branches.
Oh, I can climb up there easy if you want and knock on the door.
Works for me.
I do that.
Do it.
Okay, Reed, give me a dexterity check with advantage. This is going to be a piece of cake for you. Just don't roll a 1.
I had to say it out loud.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad you can hear me saying it out loud.
That was the thing we had an issue with earlier.
Oh, you're great.
Hey.
You see,
Awesome.
you see Reed kind of trot up there like in 2 seconds, and you're on this little porch, which seems to be the only real thing that isn't part of the tree. This has been kind of lashed together branches. It is level, and it has a little area on the side that you can hold on to. And there's a door here that's not very good wood, but it's a working door with a handle.
I look behind me. Everybody is right there, right?
Everyone's at the bottom of the ladder.
All right. And I knock.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Actually, do both.
You through the door you hear, "Who is it?"
My name's Reed, and my friends and I we were hoping to speak with Mommy Tar.
You hear the door creak open just like a bit, and you see a kind of yellowing eyeball. It's not like bright yellow, but it's more someone whose health might not be up to snuff, with a really dark iris kind of look out, and it's kind of big and bulging, and
Like just an eyeball, or is there a face around it?
there's it's only the crack of the
alright.
door, and it's dark. It's dark inside, so the eyeball
And
is
then the
all you're
beholder
seeing.
reaches out and grabs you and drags you in.
It was like a stalk.
So
I just kind
You
of give
have-
a little wave.
you have questions for Mama Tar?
Yes. Can my friends speak with us? Speak with you?
You see the eye move around and goes, "You look to be alone. Are you?"
Oh, they haven't climbed up yet.
Be quick, boy. Don't just stand there. Bring them up if you wish to speak to Mama Tar.
I wave everybody up. Come on, come on.
Okay, everyone give me a dexterity roll with advantage. It's a pretty easy ladder. All of you just roll above a 3. Way to go, Nikita.
These are very sturdy branches. I am impressed.
It's like it was made
Yeah,
to
they
climb
did.
almost.
Okay, you all make it up there. Except Eldred goes up about 3 branches, slips, cracks his chin on one of the branches, and goes down. And then you hear him mumble something under his breath, and then tries again, and this time gets up there fine.
Damn, man, are you all right?
I bit my tongue.
Here, wash your mouth out.
Thanks. So you make it all up there, and the door is cracked, and as you all get up there, it opens, and from inside it's dark, and there's a lot of smoke, and you see this hand through the smoke wave you in. But don't just stand there being strangers. Come in, come in.
I step aside and let somebody else go first.
How tall is the door? Am I able to fit through it, or do I need to crouch?
The only person who really needs to crouch is Gaius and Eldred, and not even much.
I will go in first then,
Okay?
and hopefully not bump into anything with my dark vision.
Okay?
I'll follow.
Yeah, we go in.
Okay. Reed, do you go in?
We all
Oh,
go
yeah,
in.
Okay.
He just didn't want to
Red
go
Trap is
first.
messed up.
Exactly.
The door is shut behind you. You hear the twisting of rope as it's resecured. It's dark and smoky in here. It's just redolent with the smell of old sweat and body odor, iron and overripe sumac.
Yeah.
There's something also a little oily about the air in here, but it's probably from the smoke. It's a dark one-room shack. There is actually a fire built in the center on a little platform, and you notice in the roof up top there's a small hole in the roof for the smoke to go up through. There's stuff hanging from the ceilings in different places. Sometimes they're dried herbs. Sometimes it looks like some game. In the back, there seems to be some cages hanging around that you're not quite sure what they are. And in the back against the wall, you see what looks like a pile of clothing or furs or something that you can only imagine is Mama Tar's bed. And there, next to the fire is a small wooden kind of ramshackle table with a couple chairs around it. Mama Tar is probably about 5 feet tall, dressed with kind of layers of black and gray, and it's kind of like just it looks like it doesn't look like any actual piece of clothing so much as things that are just put on and attached to create a covering. Both arms tend to be free. They're long and skinny. The nails are kind of a dark pink that are like black around the cuticles. The face has these 2 very large, slightly yellowed eyes with very dark pupils that are probably brown, but in this light they look black. And right around the eyes, at first you think they're freckles, but they look like they actually might be markings because they're just a little too symmetrical. Mama Tar goes around the other side of the table and sits down, and she's chewing on something. And she says, "Who be you to visit Mama
greetings.
Tar?"
Greetings, Mama Tar. We are adventurers from the big city of Seven Rivers. And we have been asked to find a missing girl named Veronica.
Marner, huh?
That is the one, yes. We were curious if you were aware of anything. It seems there are some stories in town, but they do not seem to match up.
Mama Tar's aware of a lot of things. And as she looks at you, she smiles, and you notice the one eye is actually bigger than the other. It's kind of awkward. Her hair is like thick black ropes. There's all sorts of stuff now that you get a good look at her by the fire in these ropes of hair. It looks like little shells, what might once have been ribbons. There are some metal rings in different ropes of hair. It just comes down to just above the shoulders, and it just kind of looks like a very angry mop. She says, "So you came here from the big city to ask Mama Tar a question."
We're just trying to check every avenue. Your name had come up, and we were hoping perhaps you could tell us what you know about Veronica, her possible disappearance, and anything else about the history of Forest Grove. I have a feeling you are quite knowledgeable about the area.
She turns her head, smiles. You see her gums and her teeth are black gums with kind of gray teeth that has a lot of blacks kind of between the teeth, and you see whatever she's chewing, it looks like a big black mass in her mouth, that the spittle from that is just coating the teeth. She spits, just kind of drops. It's not so much a spit as a drool
Hawk.
with a little hawk to it. On the floor, you hear it hit the floor with a very noticeable splatter.
With a courtly plorp.
Exactly.
Plorp.
And she says, "That's a lot of questions. You have coin, big city people?"
If that is what you want, or we can do we can perform tasks for you if you need help perhaps getting any ingredients or hunting from the forest, that kind of thing. Whatever you feel is a good trade for the information.
Guess it kind of depends on the child. How quickly you want to get the child. Isn't that the situation here? I can
So,
give you
Elias, how
plenty
much do we have on hand?
Yep. Butt trumpet. You don't let the person know how much you're working with, because that will kind of give away the game. You don't.
Well, I wasn't actually looking for a specific number, just more than anything, clearly time is of the essence here.
Well, no, I think she's just trying to squeeze us for cash. In reality, if she were a good person, she wouldn't require money to assist finding a lost child. I mean, that is kind of.
Oh! Were you told that Mama Tar was a good person?
I assumed a woman of your wisdom would have at least reasonably asked for things. I mean, what is the going rate for Mama Tar's wisdom here in town?
I mean, I thought you were a good person because mommy's in your name, and mommies are
Okay,
good people usually.
Okay. We're gonna have to have a chat about that thought pattern later.
You, Mr. Big City Talker, you seem,
Actually, not a big city talker. I am from a town quite the size of Forest Grove, just not
I
here.
don't care. Sit down. And she points
you
to
know.
the seat across from her.
I look down at the seat. Is there patches of whatever?
It's an old
It's-
chair that looks like it may have been stained over the years, but there's no puddles on it now.
They sit on a
fresh.
stoat
Gotcha.
carcass.
No
Yeah,
acting.
nothing fresh. Nothing fresh.
Right.
Gaius will take a seat.
So I ask again, if you're interested in this child, show me the coin.
Gaius takes out a single gold piece and puts it down on the table. There's more than just that. But the problem is, I don't know what kind of information you're going to provide.
Okay,
To be quite,
do you put the coin down and leave it, or do you keep your finger on it, or?
I keep my finger on top of it.
Very well, that is fair. You give me the coin. If you're happy with what I tell you, you give me more.
That seems like a fair trade. And Guy slides the coin over toward Mamatar. Consider this a investment, and hopefully, like I don't want to swindle you, dear woman, but I also want to make sure that I don't get ripped off either. There seems to be a class of people here in town that enjoy just exploiting people. I'm starting to notice.
She scoops up the coin, takes a little test it with her teeth,
Ooh, I wouldn't.
puts it deep into like the layers, smiles at you with those blackish gray teeth and gums, and says, "Big city folk should know. Serious answers require serious coin." So, you want to know about the Marner girl? I've heard stories. But first, have any of you met her?
Guy just turns and looks around. Eh? Anyone?
Mhm.
No? Didn't think
Elder's
so,
like,
right?
no. Have any of you ever spoke to her?
I'm going to say if the first was a no, the second's going to be a no.
Do
We've
any
heard
of,
stories.
have any of you do any of you have anything that belonged to her?
Did we
Yes.
keep the diary?
Oh, yeah, we totally took that.
I say
Who
we
had?
show it.
Yes.
Show it,
Yes.
but don't give it.
100%.
Very well. That
Diary.
will be useful. Little blue person, look through the book. Find a page that is not too precious to you, but has her writing on it. And
I turn to the. Sorry.
when you find it, tear it out and just wait.
I'll turn to the last page and find the last entry that says Brussels sprouts for dinner. I hate Brussels sprouts, and tear it out.
I mean, generally, if you saute them with bacon, they're all right, but
That's how we get Reed to eat his vegetables.
Mm.
it's how you get anybody to eat Brussels sprouts.
Anyway,
That would totally work, by the way. I approve.
So, before we go any further, tell me, where do you think she might have gone? What are your thoughts?
well, we've got a couple mild theories with us. There's been talk of a boyfriend from Seven Rivers, and she may not have wanted necessarily to have been bartered away into an arranged marriage with someone other than this person. So there's a possibility she could have left of her own free will, just not telling anybody.
That sounds like a teenage girl to me.
Yep.
We've also heard though that there are goblins and that they might have found her because she used to go into the woods.
That sounds like some of the goblins in the hills. So that's true too. By the way, looking at this woman, she could be anywhere from 40 on up. If she's 40 or 50, she could have led a fairly decent life and just be a dirty person. But there's a little bit in you or she could be in her 60s, 70s, 80s, or above, and just look amazing for her age.
Is
Or
she definitely human?
she's definitely human.
Okay, that helps.
She could be in her 30s and just look like shit. It is so difficult to pinpoint like an age for this woman. The skin is not taut, but it's not wrinkled either. There's not like a lot of crow's feet or laugh lines or any. Matter of fact, there are no laugh lines. But she's got those freckles under the eyes, and those big eyes that don't seem to match in size. And she says, "Any other ideas?"
I have some stranger ideas just to throw out there. If
Stranger is better than nothing.
there's been a blue cat following us, I'm worried maybe someone turned her into the cat.
Is the blue cat close to my house?
No. No. It would not come in. It stayed up on the road. Do you know the blue cat?
I've seen it.
You do not like it.
I have no opinion one way or the other on that little vermin.
Obviously.
But you definitely know it's not Veronica.
That cat has been in this village longer than Veronica has been alive.
Interesting.
Didn't know
I
cats
am-
live that long.
I'm gonna pet that cat when we go out there.
May I
I'll
ask-
treat your wounds.
Yeah, seriously. May I ask, you do not want the cat near your house?
All these. Wait. Before you
No.
answer, do these answers cost money?
They will. Unless you have gems, potions.
No. I just want to make sure if we're paying by the question.
We're not paying by the question. By the way, if that's how this is working, that's a hard no on that kind of fee. I'm not doing this a la carte.
You came to Mamatar to ask about the girl.
Yes.
The deal we struck was for things about the girl.
Yep.
I'm happy to do that, but as I said before, city people know serious questions require serious coin.
I'll
I'm
make sure I
not
let the
like
city
the
people know.
village idiots with their dirty little secrets here. I
So-
am being honest with you.
So the cat questions are free, right?
She looks at you guys and says, "That one's not too bright, I take it."
No.
He's surprisingly sharp when he needs to be. He just is so innocent. It's actually scary at times.
Oh, really?
Not helping.
Yes.
So the diary page.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
We will get to that in a second. I just need to... Any other things you want to do to rack up the bill a little bit before we actually get to the things about the child?
The cat questions
Well,
aren't free.
once
No,
again,
no.
I'm paying for the stuff about the girl, and that's the diary. What they're doing is you're having a conversation.
Wait.
Yes.
I'd like
Yes.
to get a handful of spiders from the jar out of my pack
Okay.
and offer them to her.
Surreptitious.
You could have given me some warning.
Is that just something you normally have in there? You ride on my back on that.
Spells.
Which ones?
She
Nikita
says,
scooches to the other side of Gaius.
she looks at you, Butt Trumpet, and says, "Thank you, child, but I'm not hungry at the moment, and quite frankly, I raise my own. I could probably give you some before you leave if you'd like.
Yeah.
Fresh."
Only if that. Woo! Well, we're
Is there at
already
least-
seeing if you're gracious enough to give us information, so I wouldn't want to take more than you're perfectly
Willing.
comfortable giving.
Is there holes in the jar lid? Are those just dead spiders?
No, these
Are they-
were dried out spiders. These were dead
Ah,
Still
spiders.
gross.
They're not
I was-
crawling along my fingers.
it was more of just a point of what I was looking at.
Well, I tried.
Anywho,
So, short woman, other than
is
the
that you?
cat,
I-
what
I
other
assume so.
weird ideas do you have?
Oh, also, if you ask us questions, that negates the answers and question back and forth kind of thing.
You're welcome to leave, fat man.
I am at
He
most
is not
husky.
fat. He is very well muscled. You should see him work out in the mornings. He sweats horrifically.
I was not aware of that particular fact. That is how you would describe it. I am an accomplished wind sprinter now. I can run long distances in heavy armor with many unconscious people strapped to my body, apparently,
And have done so.
and have done so.
Eldred says, I've seen him do his wind sprints. He's obviously not getting enough oxygen to the brain if he thinks those are like the way he describes them.
Okay, you two break it up.
Mama Tar's
You have-
eyes are closed and she just continues to chew and says, my time is precious, and I would imagine the child that is missing probably feels similar.
Or one last strange thought I had. She is not missing. The mayor is holding on to her, and that's why he has all the guards around his house. Can I do an
Very
insight roll on her? Is there any reading I can
Absolutely.
get off?
Absolutely.
Because I'm only half fucking with her on this.
Oh, I didn't think you were fucking with her at all, actually.
Okay.
The cat, I wasn't sure, but with the way you've been focused on that cat, I figured you
Yeah.
were serious.
100%. Yeah.
Very good.
15. Not bad.
Very good. Everyone but Nikita, take off your headphones, please. Okay, Nikita, that's a decent roll. What I'm going to say is this. You get the feeling this woman doesn't have a sense of humor.
Oh, okay.
You don't get the feeling that she likes outsiders much. You even get the feeling she's a little suspicious. You get the feeling she may have been burned before. You get the feeling that she's trying to do a service for payment. And looking
Okay.
around, you can see that she probably doesn't have a lot of things that bring in payment. I mean, you get some feelings like maybe there are some things she does for payment, but the idea of what they might be kind of give you the shivers. You get the feeling she's really trying to be straight up with you, is suspicious of big city people, especially smarmy, sarcastic ones. You don't
Okay.
get the feeling this woman, you get the feeling that Forest Grove is probably the biggest civilization this woman's probably ever really experienced.
Okay. But I don't get the feeling she's actually trying to con us or get one over on us. She honestly is, this is an honest barter for her.
You get the feeling this woman's trying to make a living.
Gotcha.
And just,
Gotcha.
you know, this fell into her lap. She's trying to make the most of it.
Yeah.
She's suspicious of you, but the possibility of the coin is stronger.
Right.
She's more suspicious of you conning her. She doesn't want to
Gotcha.
get cheated. So
Okay.
are you staying or going?
We are staying.
You're staying.
We just
Yes.
have too many ideas as to where this child could be. And we are
That's
looking
better
to...
than no ideas. That means you have some brains, which is more than I can say for some of the people here in this little village, as they call it.
Whew, good thing I'm not from this village. I might be offended.
Or the mayor.
Oh,
He
you
has
do
no
not
brain?
like
I don't like people who think they're more important than everybody else. They're the
Understand.
ones who usually have the most secrets.
Also understandable.
So
Wait, is that a hint? That's a hint. Just, no,
Probably.
sorry, go ahead. Guess we'll have to watch
Feel
the mayor
free
tonight.
to ignore him. We'll
Oh.
deal with him. It's okay.
you're very familiar, young man, with the word time out, right? I thought so. Okay. Shall we start? Okay.
Please.
She reaches beneath the table and into a cabinet, pulls out a stoneware bowl, puts it on the table, wipes it out with a rag, starts saying some mumblings under her breath that you can't understand. It's no language that any of you recognize. Rubs her hands together and then takes one of them and sticks it into the fire next to her and scoops up a handful of the coals and puts it into the stoneware bowl. It blows on the palm of her hand, and you see little embers and smoke blow off. Rubs it around the bowl 3 times, kind of wiping those ashes on the outside of the bowl. Lifts up the bowl and swirls it around, making sure that the embers and the ash kind of get a good coating in the bowl. And then just kind of empties the bulk of them down back into the fire, puts the bowl down in the middle of the table, and says, "Give me the page."
I do.
She takes it. She lifts it up to the fire so you can see the light reflecting through it. Rolls her fingers across the writing and then repeats it backwards the exact same way, and then tears it into 3 strips, putting it into the bowl. They immediately catch flame and start to burn. She takes a pouch and sprinkles from the pouch what looks like a couple pinches of what looks like dried herbs, and a blue smoke kind of rises up into like a little ball in the air, a mushroom cloud with 2 kind of holes going through it with 2 thin streaks below in the center, and just kind of rises up. The room fills with this smell of strange herbs that you can't put a finger on what they are. She then spits into the bowl and it sizzles, and you see a big black wad of spittle as she does it. She says a few more things in this language you don't recognize. She reaches into a pouch on the other side, pours into the palm of her hand a bunch of little bones. They look like might be the bones of small animals and birds. Many of them are different shapes. Some are joints. Some look like they might be part of ribs. Some might look like they might be, small femurs, things like that. And she has a handful of them. And she blows over them, takes the smoke that came up off of the herbs and breathes it in. And then blows it down onto the bones and releases them into the bowl. And she goes, "Fat man, lean forward." And she takes her hand by the back, around the back of your head, and pulls it towards her over the bowl and says, "Breathe in."
Well, this is new. Oh yeah.
Okay. She says, "Now say the girl's name followed by your own."
Veronica Marner. Gaius Argus.
She releases her hand from your head. She goes, "Now give me your hand."
Okay. And holds out his hand.
She takes it with a firm grip, and with her finger, she traces some of the lines in your hand. Her hand comes back with a black knife and draws it across your hand, cutting you. Then she squeezes your hand with both of hers. You can feel the heat from the ashes from the one hand, and squeezes it over the bowl. And as the blood trickles out into the bowl, it sizzles on the bones. And she releases your hand, and then you see her eyes roll back in her head, and she says a number of things. You recognize the words smoke and child and gone mixed in with other things. The smoke from the bones is just steam. She swirls it around and tosses the bones, catching them again in the bowl, and then dumps them out onto the table and puts the bowl over on the fireside. She kind of looks. At first, she says, "Huh. Interesting." She continues to chew that black wad in her mouth. But then the look in her face quickly turns to confusion and consternation. And she seems very perplexed. And she grabs the bowl and scoops the bones back into it again. Big wad of spittle, spits on it again, swirls them around, and dumps them onto the table again, and puts the bowl to the side. Gaius, give me a perception check.
12.
12?
Is what I got.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good enough. You notice that the bones, when she scattered them across the table the second time, fell into the exact same pattern as they did the first time.
Interesting.
She goes, "Isn't it, though?"
Yes. You seem to be performing a form of augury, dear lady.
She says a number of things come from this, good and bad. Although I guess that's up to those who hear it. She says, "The girl is not in the village, but I gather that this is not news to you. But she is not so far as to be out of sight of the bones. She is alone and not among people. And she is not in any gathering of people, so definitely not in a big city. And it looks like she was not in a campment of goblins either, which would fall into some of these realms. But there's a problem.
Yes.
There is a powerful juju at work here that prevents me from seeing anything else.
Interesting.
Clearly. If you are serious about finding this child, there is only one that I know of that can see past these workings. I can tell you the way, but you must be strong of heart if you are to find them. And it will not be an easy trek. There is one who can help you and give you the further answers you need past what is going on with this child and the workings, because there is something preventing my eye and the bones from seeing. But she is not in the village. She is not in a big city. She is not with goblins.
Well, that's good.
Interesting. And she is currently alone. Well, is she alone or not among people?
Yes, on both counts.
And
Does that
who
mean she is
this?
among spirits? Among spirits, perhaps, then?
She is alive. Very much alive.
I apologize. You mentioned one who might be able to see through the powerful juju that is blocking.
Yes.
Who might that be?
The Yaga.
A Baba Yaga.
You must seek known
Yaga.
as the Baba.
Common isn't my first language. Could you maybe go slow on that? They are in the Yaga.
There is no Yaga. They go by many names.
Oh, okay.
They by some are called the Yaga.
Oh.
They are also known as the Baba.
So either known as Iaga or Baba.
To people who work in my disciplines, we will say.
Where might
And-
we? Sorry.
No, you were going to ask the same question I was. Please continue.
Where might we find them?
A big smile goes across her face with these dark gray teeth. The hand comes out covered in soot and ashes and steam still coming off of it. Serious directions, don't you know, city folk?
I would
Mm,
uh,
indeed.
pass
Gaius
along. Ooh, okay.
produces another gold coin and then flicks it over the table toward her.
Looks and says, "That will be good for the information about the girl. One more for directions."
A bit of a haggle. I would also like to know what is the Baba's cost for its assistance.
"Give me the coin and I will tell you what I can answer."
There you go.
She says, "The Baba very much likes to make deals. She considers herself deep with bargains. The cost is something that you will have to determine with her. It is never the same for more than one person."
Sounds like practitioners I've heard of in the past, or at the very least, creatures I've read about in books. Is the Baba a practitioner, a person, a mortal, or are they something more?
She has been called a witch. Does that answer that?
It's something I figured out through the context clues of our conversation. I was just making sure we weren't making a deal with a demon, if you will. A literal one, not somebody
Yeah.
who's so bad that they're considered evil like that, but it was just
Ah. So
somebody who will actually make a
not
pact with
like people,
accidentally.
not like men up on hills then.
Yes. Curious what we're getting ourselves into.
That's up to you.
Oh, I've made plenty of bad
Directions?
decisions in my life. So what's one more, huh? Sooner or later, it's going to kill me.
Directions?
Oh yes, directions, please. Yeah, we got to.
Was just wondering, that's all. Go across the river into the woods. Go until you reach the fall. Along the fall, you will find an area where you can traverse the fall and get over it. Once you do so, walk straight until you reach the base of the hills before the mountains. That is where you will find the Baba. You have been upright and fair with me. Most people from big cities, not so much. So I will give you a small gift. After you traverse the fall, if you find yourself going north and you start coming upon the reeking swamp, turn back. You are going in the wrong direction. Death lives there. Death to any who enter it. Consider yourself warned.
Okay.
Well, that was. Thank you. Those were clear, concise directions, and the added bonus is appreciated. And I, I must ask, Mamatar, what was that spell you performed? I do a sort of augury with the bones as well. Mine is a little less specific than that. It's more like a coin toss kind of deal I got going on. But where did you learn such powers?
Ah, I learned this from my grandmother, who was a seer herself. Some called her a soothsayer.
Mm.
Some had not so nice words for her.
I can only imagine the ignorant can be rude at times. At this point, Guys pulls out another good gold coin, sets it down on the table. For the warning, I appreciate it. And Also, I was curious, Montar.
Have
before
you
we
taken
leave-
your hand off that glass?
Oh
coin?
yeah. Oh
She
yeah.
takes it, sticks it, kind of quickly grabs it up, scoops it up, puts it where she put the other ones, and says, "Yes, my grandmother taught me those, how to scry and other things, before they burned her."
Oh dear. Oh, my condolences. I have a one question before we leave. What is with all of the blue?
Ah, the Geechee are well familiar with the Baba. They have Babas where they come from. They know better.
So the blue is a warding against the Baba.
For the Geechee, yes. I don't know if it works or not. I've never had
Interesting.
any problem with the Baba.
Okay, good to know.
Follow up
No.
question.
Yes, stout lady.
We can get you food if you have a food issue.
She looks well fed.
She calls you fat. Anyway. Does the Baba have a habit of climbing into people's rooms and sitting on their chests? Or is that something else you are familiar with?
Naked.
Naked old man. Yeah, naked old man.
Give me
Is
a
that just a
give me a
is that just a
persuasion
dude here?
check. Give me a persuasion check there, Nikita.
Yeah.
just a guy out in the woods?
You have
Just
to
some
get
dude
you
that-
have to get above a 16, so you know.
Guidance.
So-
I'm giving it-
I'm sitting here waiting. I'm like, come on, man, say it.
yes, have guidance.
Stout this.
So persuasive.
The
Naked
Bab-
old guy, you know. Sit on chest does.
The Baba has her ways. That sounds like one way she might have of checking up on strangers who have entered her hunting grounds, as it were.
So perhaps we should get a little blue for the inn then, maybe.
I mean, you have a little blue in the inn.
Haha.
But
Eldred just puts his hand up for a high five. Then you hear Eldred mutter to himself, that was pretty fucking good.
I mean, we could
Puns
workshop
aside.
more. Got to get the set fully lined up. What?
for our
You can't just
improv
rely-
group.
Yes, we need more than just one joke. You need. Anywho,
Spasiba, Mama Tar. We greatly appreciate your time and you have been very helpful.
Ah, you're welcome. You're not so bad for city folk.
once again, just I've literally was only in the city for about a month and a half.
It
Me less than
stains
that.
people, even with a short stay.
This is
Yeah,
true.
well, It was the sewer did most of the staining.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stains deep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, if those clothes have been thrown out.
If only we could be washed by the tide, or maybe have a wand of the tide, a stick, a tide stick.
Mm. Or if we could get it in like a small little, like a seed pod, if you will, concentrated.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Mama Tar says, I believe I should be collecting a cover charge here.
And a 2-drink minimum.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Ah,
She takes a big
Let the-
jug and puts it next to her, reaches into her things and takes out a long, thin cigar and leans into the fire. You see a few of the ropes of hair just kind of spark a little bit and smolder.
Oh.
And she breathes in and blows out this blue smoke.
Ooh, I have a question.
Yes, little friend.
Does the Baba have any guilty pleasures, like little things that would incline them to appreciate company a little bit more? Little trinkets, little weird things, little creepy crawlies, or what have you?
Rings, spiders.
I heard spiders. The first thing sound like rings. She says she used to have a little bad habit, we'll call it, but that was many years ago. And she struck a deal that made her stop.
Well,
Did she eat kids?
Oh, you've heard about her.
Time to go.
It was
Smacked the
funnier with
TV a
just
couple
the
times.
stuttering, but you know.
I got the gist. Time
We
to
all
go
got
was
the gist. Mama Tar says,
Who
that
did
was
they-
ages ago.
Who did the Baba make a deal with to stop that?
Oh. The people of the hamlet that has now become Forest Grove.
Oh, okay.
The one that's to exist.
Outside of where they were allowed to leave deep in the wood and set up home here. And with the bargain, from what I understand, she would no longer take her tithe of a small baby infant once a year.
Oh, what did the town give in recompense for that?
You would have to ask the Baba.
Then I think that's what we will do.
Hmm.
Okay.
Reed is trying to unlatch the door.
Fumbling with it, getting all tangled up in the ropes.
It's been a pleasure. Yes.
Guys, give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
13.
You get up.
Yeah.
Okay, you get up. You feel a little dizzy and a little woozy, but you're good. And also,
fumes
from the
Starting to
cut,
get a little high.
from the cut, take 1 hit point, please.
You had a spider bite your butt on the chair.
I have armor there.
Armored butt?
Do you
Oh,
know
you
how
weren't-
armor works?
Eldred says, "I went shopping with him. You know how hard it is to find butt armor.
Just get a
He
little
finally
bit
had to go to
larger.
Happy Harry's for it."
Never gonna get rid of that place. Okay, we're leaving. Goodbye.
Okay.
Before I apparently pass out from the fumes.
Mama Tar
Yes.
says, "Good luck."
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
need it, I'm sure.
Don't. Yes. Couldn't be
Spasiba.
more ominous. We leave the building.
Okay.
Yes.
You head out. Gaius, everyone give me a dexterity check to get down the ladder. Gaius, your DC is going to be a little higher than everybody else's.
Does a 20 beat it?
Yes, you're fine. Everyone's
I
fine.
have been more inebriated than this.
Reed, give me it with advantage for you because this is like a piece of cake for you. What was that?
Someone does a backflip.
I had a dirty 20, so that's
Oh,
probably why
okay.
I triggered it.
Okay,
No, 9 total.
no problem. You're all down. No problem at all.
Ooh,
So,
I'm still
are we
living in
going
the
right?
clouds.
Are we going right to the Baba,
No.
or do we want to go to Carlisle?
Well, the way Mamatar, sorry, a little dizzy, described it, it seemed like a journey of
Duh.
a day or more.
Ah,
Of,
Okay.
like going through over the river, through the forest, across the fall.
To grandmother's house we go.
Exactly. So, and
Or
plus the
naked
party's tonight.
grandfather who sat on my chest. Am I gonna go see
We'll
that
unpack.
person?
We'll unpack that.
Like, are we
territory.
forgetting that happened?
Oh no, we're just going to make sure the window's locked this time,
Yep.
and maybe get some blue.
Yeah.
Should I
mean, you can
sit on
just
the
sit up-
nightstand?
You know what? We'll
Just kicking
we'll
my
get
legs?
we'll get like little suction cups and like have you on the window as a deterrent.
Garfields are so passe, but we now have butt trumpets
Like-
on our windshields.
You're welcome
You
to
just-
the merchandising.
On the way out, you
Opportunity.
just see butt trumpet on the windows going.
We got little BT on board stickers.
BTOB.
BT.
Okay, then I suppose that'll have to be after the party and everything. So Carlisle next?
We can check him out as well. I guess what time is it? Looking around.
It's early afternoon.
Yes, we can go talk.
Reed,
try
you're
talking.
realizing that you've missed lunch.
Yeah. I don't know. Something in there kind of killed my appetite. I don't know.
That's fair.
We could go talk to Carla. I would say this Baba is a very interesting lead. Probably want to try to, at least my thought is, squeeze the town for all it's worth before we go. Kind of thing. Because we could be there for a bit. Hell,
Mhm.
the Baba could be the one who currently has the girl. I mean, we don't know exactly what deal they made. Oh, or she could have made a deal with the Baba herself.
Then I definitely think that we'll go to the Baba either after the party or the morning after the party while we're all nursing a hangover.
Yes, that
Because at the
sounds like
party we can talk to everyone we need to. At least I think so.
and we have another avenue of investigation to add to this, and see exactly what the town might be doing to appease this Baba.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's, oh, we just occasionally give them a random person, that might give us a clue on what happened to Veronica. Also,
Are we
curious what
walking
the
and
struggle-
talking?
Yes,
I assume so.
let's-
Yes.
No, just checking.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something because it's kind of been eating at me. Her father didn't really seem all that worried that she was missing, did he?
Well, I mean, he was concerned. I got the vibe. Now, granted, might have been more of like a stolen commodity kind of worried than
Did we ever
Love for
ask
his
what
daughter?
where the mom was? Did we ask that? Did I miss that?
oh,
Her original mother?
Yeah.
not the newest one.
Did she pass away? Was that a thing? I don't remember.
From what I can remember, granted, spotty memory here. I believe if she hasn't passed away, it was before he came to Forest Grove. There was the original wife, and there was a second one, and now he's on his third. And she is the daughter of the first wife, if I can remember properly, when we
That's-
interviewed him all of a day ago. Feels a lot longer
Much
for
has
some
happened
reason.
since then.
Hmm.
It's been a few things.
I think we might need to get that clarified at the party as well. But
Yes.
it seemed odd to me that even if he lost a commodity in not caring that it's a daughter, this commodity was getting him a very strong link to the Baron, possibly. Wouldn't he be very concerned at least about that business deal?
I think he was to a certain extent, but once again, like I said, it's kind of he strikes me as the kind of person to cut their losses after a certain period of time. Like This is the guy who we told the other night that Mr. Worthington had passed, and first thing in the morning was making offers to purchase the place. He is ambitious and ruthless, just from the actions we've seen so far. So I can only imagine he might be the same way with his daughter. We don't know. I mean, he could secretly harbor a deep and abiding love for her, and is just really bad at expressing his emotions. I don't know if you notice this, that there's some men that have this whole like don't show emotion because it's like bad thing. Are dwarves
No.
really emotional? I don't actually know. Do dwarven men
I don't
cry?
think that.
Is that a thing they do? I don't
Yes.
know a lot.
And
Okay.
then they. Well, it's.
Then they get violent,
Yes.
don't they? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's also human men to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't. There's a problem with a lot of guys around here. We don't express our emotions in a healthy manner. I
Yeah,
know
it's a
from personal
violent
experience.
world.
Well, it doesn't help. But anyway, we're going down a
Yeah.
weird rabbit hole.
I'm just
Um,
wondering
No,
which
I
world
just-
you're talking about. But Nikita, give me a perception check, please.
The cat.
Both.
Me, the cat. Blue kitty.
Okay. The minute you are up, out, and on the road and continuing on, you notice the cat starts to follow you again.
I want to run an arcana check on the cat.
Okay.
Okay.
Anya, Anya.
Go ahead.
With guidance.
Yep.
Oh, I
Apparently
wonder if
this
that's
I
is
forget.
very
Is that plus a
old
D4?
yes, a
Yes.
D4. Yes.
Well, how old was Veronica? Like 14, 15?
Around there. Let me
15, 16, I think.
Cats can be a little older than that.
Not much, but a little. And blue cats?
Yeah, like just.
It's tough to tell, Butt Trumpet. It seems like it could just be a very intelligent cat. You're not sure, or
Could
it
I do
could
a
be a
history
stubborn.
check?
You can do a
Could I
history
do it?
check. Do a history
Yeah, to see
check.
if I am aware of any creatures like this.
Sure.
I'm stubborn.
Gaius,
damn it.
don't you have that spell you do to see if something's magical?
Oh yes.
Well, I'm not allowed to know anything.
Ew.
That
Fuck
sounded
me.
like
Nope,
the doom and,
not in my
doom
head.
and gloom of this.
So, okay, if we could do that. We're going to need to stop walking for a moment because I'm
All
not
right.
going to blow a spell slot on this. I mean, touch in with the in-depth arcane powers that I have that are definitely have some kind of weird amount that I know of in my body. As a ritual, I will be casting to protect magic, everyone. So just give me a minute. Guys, pulls out like a little sack of salt, a little circle, draws some symbols in the dirt, opens a book, reads a thing, draws a different line and other line, closes it, and poof, casts detect magic.
As you're doing this, the rest of you notice some town folk walking by. Just kind of, they look Gaius up and down, like, and then mumble to each other and continue on. And there seems to be a lot of weird.
Directions. He refuses to ask for directions. It's all good.
They
Gaius
just kind
is
of give you a look like,
So for the next 10 minutes, I sense magic within a 30-foot sphere of me.
okay, you've got a fair amount on yourself. Eldred has a fair amount on himself. Butt Trumpet has a tiny little bit, and Nikita has a tiny little bit. And the cat does appear to be magical, or under some enchantment. And it's what you can tell from it is that it's a very old magic, and that it has a very good feeling about it.
Oh, well. Gaius pulls out like a little bit of food out of his pocket and leans down to try to give it to the cat.
Sniffs at it. What is it you're giving them?
Like a piece of like jerky or something.
Sniffs it. Takes in. It's actually kind of comical because with jerky, they just keep chewing,
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
peanut
that's what I
butter.
had. Mhm.
and they seem a little surprised that they're still chewing.
I walk.
It's a tasty,
I walk up next.
long-lasting treat.
I walk up next to Gaius. What was that?
What was what?
Was that bacon?
No, it was jerky.
Can
You
I
all
have
right?
some? Can I have some?
Yes. Yes, here.
I thought we were gonna eat
Don't-
later. Okay.
We
Here,
will.
have some jerky. Do you not have just like rations in your pockets in case of emergencies?
I ate everything.
That's not how rations work. You need to ration them.
But we're in a town. I figured I'd get more.
Don't always assume you're going to get food every place you go.
No.
We should probably assume we're not going to get anything we want to eat at this Baba place.
Well,
I
luckily
don't know
we
if I'm
bought
gonna go
like
there.
2 months
The-
supplies.
Baby
Or-
Yoga's gonna suck the thing out of my head. I don't want that.
If they know about it, if they were the one that sat on your chest and they know about it, they might try to make a deal for the thing in your head. But then the thing is out of your head, hopefully without
I'm-
killing you.
I'm almost certain it would be better if it wasn't in there, as long as it didn't kill you.
Nah.
Well, yeah, but a couple of people have said it's really deep. I don't know what.
I don't know what. Listen, I can heal very traumatic damage in a small window of time as long as I'm there. We just
will
gotta
protect
phrase the
you,
thing
Lee.
right.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we got your back, or in this case, your front, because that's where it is. But anyway, magic cat people. We got a magic cat here. It is some good old magic.
Will it let me
Good
pet it?
old-
It lets you. It kind of is a little suspicious of you at first, and it tenses up like when you bend down to pet it. But when it sees that you're just petting it, it does loosen up.
Well, that's the one thing we
Very
did
interesting.
notice. The cats seem to keep the birds away, who we've seen in relation to the fields outside, where there were less than cool things going on.
Mhm.
Like that one scarecrow that the other night was unsettling. And looking around, I'm trying. Did anyone notice if there were cats also in the Geechee? I know the blue one stayed away from Mama Tar's abode, but did anyone notice cats in the Geechee area at all?
No,
I don't think they were in the Geechee.
So
but as
I
you
wonder-
continue on, you're getting towards the residential area, and you do start seeing some more cats here and there. Some are up on walls, some are around trees, some are just kind of strolling on the streets. And guys, you do notice that they too appear to be magical, but these cats, it's a totally different magic. Everyone but Gaius, take off your headphones, please. You find it to be a little strange. It appears to be a little bit like it's not celestial, but it feels kind of similar. The main feel you're getting from it is transmutation.
Well, this has been a very illuminating use of the ritual magic today. So we got well, I'm just going to call the blue cat Blue from now on because he's Blue has got good old magic about them. And I'm picking up from the rest of the cats, it's different. It has it's not exactly, but it has the tang of celestial power to it.
Ooh, what's that mean?
But well, tang is like when you bite into something and it's got a little bit of a kick to it. Oh, that's not the part you're wondering
Ooh.
about.
Or if you travel
so
the
let-
astral plane, it's something you drink for breakfast.
Yes.
I don't know what any of that means. But go on.
Spelljammer
Sa-
vehicle and
says
go
Eldred.
off into yes. Oh, you read those short stories as a kid too. Anyway, so celestial, that is generally beings of wholesome goodness, kind of general kind of thing. They're like,
The heavens.
take me for example. Yes, the good side of town, if you will, the light side. I don't want to get. It's not 100% light because, let's be honest, if you follow the laws to the letter, then you can end up hurting people occasionally by being so kind of super focused on that. Granted, but with the Celestials, for the most part, it is always very good. And this has there's transmutation going on here, which, for the uninformed, is changing one thing into another. You've heard
So these
stories of
aren't
alchemists.
really cats.
They might be cats, or they were something else and then were made cats. Maybe they were
Stoats. Maybe that's why there's no stoats here.
They could have changed all the stoats into cats. There's a possibility. The thing is, transmutation isn't just, say, shape change. It is enhancement. Like, you know how sometimes I all of a sudden get way more agile than I should be? That's
Like when you
When I cheat.
smack us and we do stuff better. When you say
Yes.
guidance and you smack us. Yeah.
Well, yeah, close enough. But yes, so guidance, that's more of the divine assisting, giving that a little extra nudge. There are certain spells, magics, that will just make you better at a thing, or say, give you claws, but don't change you as a person. So they could have all have been just standard cats, and now they're enhanced somehow, or they could be people that were turned into cats, or
Yeah.
dogs turned into cats. Just that's what transmutation is. I'm getting that kind of taste from them. Blue over here, though, doesn't have any transmutation vibe about them. They have like an old power magic to it, not celestial. So these are two different things going on with blue.
We definitely do. I was just thinking, hopefully, we can, while you're still able to do this, we can get you near some of the crows or the nasty scarecrows or something. See what
well, it's
vibes
a-
you get from that.
Well, next time we're around them, I'll just pop it on. Just remind me in case I forget. Because it lasts 10 minutes, so at whatever point
That.
it's going to deactivate soon. But I can do this as long as I have free time to just kind of constantly do it. I just don't
You should-
always want to sound like a weirdo doing it all the time around everybody. It's kind of rude.
Do you think there'd be a way to do it before the party, or like you sneak off and do it, cast your ritual, then come back and check people
Oh,
out
yeah.
at the party?
Totally.
Okay.
I have a condition, and I just had to use the bathroom again every 10 minutes.
Sorry to hear that.
It's not a real condition, Reed.
Eat some stoat.
No.
Oh.
I don't
That's a
actually
condition.
want to be. I don't want to be tied up literally in the bathroom each time I leave. And getting out of this armor is a pain in the ass. Anyway,
Might take something for that.
yeah. Thank you, Eldred.
That's why he has ass armor.
Eldred.
That could be the problem.
Eldred, I have a question for you. Do you think Blue here could be someone's familiar? I've heard of this spell and this thing, but that's more of a wizard.
That is very possible.
Because like I said, I'm getting old magic, and it's positive. It's not necessarily anything evil. So
Maybe the Carlisle person, or you think even older than.
well, potentially. I mean, I'm kind of speaking out of turn here. This is, like I said, more Eldred's line of expertise. from what little I've read of certain wizard spells when I was in the Abbey.
I'm going. Yeah, I just want to clarify for viewers, and guys, you would be aware of this. You don't know a ton about the familiar spell, but for viewers, the familiar spell here is very different from what it is in 5e. The familiar spell used in this campaign is more akin to old stories and AD&D. In other words, if it was a familiar, it would be a living cat. There would be a bond between the familiar and the spellcaster, and if the familiar died, the spellcaster would take a loss in a number of places, least of which would be hit points. So you know the familiars here are not what people would be familiar with, no pun intended, with 5e. Go ahead,
Yes.
guys. I just wanted to clarify that.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to be anyway. So in the vaguest of terms, because like I said, I've read this years ago. From what I gather, it is usually a magic user of one form or another. They have an animal companion that they can imbue and help tie into their part of their life. They work together. They can perhaps the wizard can see out of their eyes and whatnot. And in some cases, there are certain spells that the familiar will help them with, that kind of thing. They can also act as what Blue might be doing here is keeping an eye out for whoever their master might be, if they are said familiar. That's my general understanding. That is not my jam, if you will.
Is
But
there a
the
way
other
Eldred could find out if it's a familiar, or like is there a language you could talk to it with, or should we just talk to the cat?
Eldred says,
Sisters.
I don't know. I've never had a familiar. I don't know if the cat could understand. It's the bond is between a familiar and the spellcaster who it belongs to and is a part of. I've always been afraid because if your familiar dies, it sucks for a spellcaster. It's a big time fuck. You want to protect your familiars. So if this is a familiar and the spellcaster is just letting it wander town, that's either a very stupid spellcaster or a very confident one.
Well, one way to check out is the only other spellcaster we're aware of, Carlisle. We could A, see if it's his, or B,
Yeah.
see if he's aware, or he might just know what it is. My guess is a familiar
true.
could just be wrong, but
I
This
have
is where we are
determined
heading.
that the cat is very fluffy.
Okay, so you're headed
Well,
to
we-
Carlisle's?
Yep.
Does that head us past? Good Lord, was it? What was not Betty? Was it Betty? The woman with the butter
shortbread.
shortbread.
Yes,
Thank
the
you.
shortbread.
Are you looking for more snacks?
Well,
You know
just
I
to
am.
hold us over until the party. It was really fucking good. Come on, it was good.
Yeah.
The supply shop that you got it in is in the main part of town, which is the opposite direction of where you're going.
Good thing Guy still has some jerky.
Yes, I mean, you really got to stop just eating all the food in your pockets.
Well, usually I save bacon, but
Your stash has
I
run
just-
out.
yes. Plus, somebody told me I should cut back.
Eat other things.
Not just eat
Not-
less.
No, we
Yeah, have you
genuinely
tried
fear
just-
for your cholesterol.
Have you heard of
Okay.
vegetables? Perhaps
I
fruits,
I definitely want to try the sprouts with bacon thing.
whole
vegetables.
grains.
All the sprouts, is that what you just said?
With bacon, yes.
Maybe some legumes.
I once
That sounds
swam
scary.
in a lagoon, says Eldred. What? I don't.
Harsh room.
What's the problem? So you make it
Rita.
over.
Reed double checks, make sure his thing is covered in his forehead.
Okay.
No gem is showing. Just in
And
case this is the old man who sat on me.
This is true. Hopefully, he
You,
opens the door and he's closed.
Ah, no! I must always be in the nude so I can touch the magic the way I like it. That is how we cast magic here in Forest Grove. Hi, it's me, Carlisle the Wizard. Played off
Naked
my
wizard.
Oh,
No.
boy.
It is nude. Naked implies something else.
Okay.
You don't want to see me. Who wants to see me cast my magics?
Nope.
Please keep joking with the stuff about with Reed, because I'm terrified of all these people now.
Here you go, son. Hold my other wand. I have to cast magic with this one first.
Don't do it.
Also, somebody hold my stave and my staff. It's weird how wizards have so many phallic-shaped objects, now that I think about it.
Oh, weird. Uh-huh.
It's like we're overcompensating for something. Anywho, are we at Carlisle's yet?
Yeah.
yeah.
Am I Carlisle now? Is that a... Can I just give me notes on what I need to say.
Oh my god.
No, you are Flabbergast, the naked wizard.
Carlisle Flabbergast. Here every Tuesday. Unless I'm not. Unless it's
That's
really
right. You
cold
give him
out.
that little butt trumpet.
Sorry.
So
I've drinking a little bit too much caffeine.
you've made it through the residential section to a nice area over by some cliffs that overlook the river. They're not very big cliffs. It's like
After
15
Seven
to
Rivers,
20
we look. After
like
Seven Rivers, we look at the cliffs. We're like, whatever.
these are like
Bullshit.
50,
Hill.
Bullshit cliffs.
15 to 20 feet down to the river, and it's a small home, but it's got a lot of like land around it, a fair amount compared to a lot of the residencies. And on one side, it's got this kind of small tower with a turret on top.
All right,
What is
let's
with
go make
wizards
friends
and
with
towers?
another hopefully not creepy magic person.
Who's hopefully wearing
don't wanna-
clothes.
I
Yeah.
don't want to knock on the door first. I don't want to knock on the door first.
Okay,
Hey, Reed. Naked wizard isn't real.
says
might be.
Flabbergast.
Don't worry.
Something
Naked wizard isn't
somebody
real.
naked was sitting on me.
I am Flabbergast, the Rash.
Oh god.
Don't worry, Reed. I am only a night terror that will haunt your dreams. I am not real.
I'm knocking on the door.
Yeah.
We got some
Hey.
outtakes
Jesus
today.
Christ.
A young man dressed rather nicely for the people you've met answers the door and looks down and says, "Oh, hello, blue goblin person. What may I do for you?"
Hello. The five of us are travelers and adventurers from Seven Rivers who were tasked with investigating a disappearance from the area recently. We are looking for Carlisle.
Ah, and what is the name of your little band so I can announce you?
The Dreadnoughts.
Okay.
Ugh.
You from behind somewhere you hear an older voice say, "Timothy, where are my good robes? I have to look my best for the party tonight."
Oh my god, he's not wearing robes.
And you hear him.
Just looking for
you
them.
see the young man who just spoke to you turn around and say, "Oh, Mr. Carlisle, they already sit out on the bed. There are some people here to see you. I think they call themselves the Dead Nuts."
No. It's in fact worse.
much.
God damn it, Paul. I just stopped laughing.
Yeah.
Fabulous Five?
Oh, shit.
Could that be a thing? Superior Six?
Oh, I'm sorry. Too much for you, Mr. Nude Wizard?
Oh no, that's not. This is Gaius talking. Would you like to summon Flabbergast?
Not even a little bit.
The rash.
Nope.
Yes, Paul,
Yes.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Don't summon my alter ego, Flabbergast. You
I'm
wouldn't
crying.
like
Thank
being
you.
Summoned.
Thank you.
I love you, Reed. That you make me so happy.
Anyway, while they collect themselves, yeah, we're here. We're an event. We're the reason there's a party later.
Oh, you're. Send them into the study there, Timothy. I'll be in a moment.
Did you mute him or did he do it to himself?
Oh, he did it to himself. I'm not doing squat like that today after what we went through before. the
yeah,
show.
yeah. That will summon Flabbergast.
Yeah.
All
And we'll
over.
never see Reed again. Although it's questionable at this point. He's been gone for quite a while already.
Okay.
You don't even want to meet Flabbergast's apprentice,
Oh, God.
Toot.
played by Dan.
So Timothy takes you into a study. It's a nice room, has a very nice carpet, a big table. There's some books out on the table. Not a lot of, like, normally you go to Wizards and you expect lots of books, lots of scrolls, not really a lot of that. There's like a globe over on one side, and there's a small desk and things like that. And it's a nice room. It's a large room for this house. It's got big windows overlooking the river. Doesn't feel very spellcastery. Timothy says, Mr. Carlyle will be in shortly, I assume, so just make yourself comfortable. May I offer you some refreshments?
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
please. Yes.
I will take care of that right away. And he goes out and
Has it been 10 minutes, Paul? Do I still have the tech magic up, or
it would not be up at this point. It would have
Okay.
taken more than 10 minutes to get across the way.
I figured, but I just had to double check.
Yeah.
I guess just take a loo around the room. If they're looking at some look at the books maybe, or like also like looks under the chairs.
Investigation, or should we?
I don't.
Ooh,
I don't want to be rude. This is more of just me perusing to see what I can
I'll
get
be
from the
rude.
surface. Okay.
Did the cat come with us?
No, the cat stayed outside.
Okay.
Okay. So that's probably not as familiar then.
Probably not. So someone else
Is
has
there a cat
possibly
door?
asked this cat to watch us.
Are there cups of water that have been knocked on the ground in this house? Any signs of cats? Okay.
Not that it looks like.
House plants askew, arms of chairs
Toilet
that look like
paper.
they've just been ripped to shit.
A ball of thread.
Yeah, dead mice at doors.
With bites taken out of them.
Yeah.
No, nothing that appears to be any sort of animal in here. It's a very nice room. Nothing exceptional. It has a bachelor feel to it, but like an older bachelor feel to it.
Anything shiny like gold? Is he trying to show off some wealth, or is it just?
Oh, no, you don't get the feeling that this is a room that gets a lot of company.
Oh, okay.
Does it feel like he works in it though?
Yes.
I go over by the window and I look out the window and I just kind of try to make sure nobody thinks I'm taking anything. I keep my hands to myself.
But he's definitely taking something.
Spoken like
Nope.
the paranoid rogue you are. You look out, it's a beautiful view. You're looking out over the river. If you look up the river, you can see the mill with a big water wheel. Shortly after the mill, there are a number of logs that are being taken in from the river into the mill. They're being pulled up with hooks and such by a number of men. Just after the mill is a waterfall that's not too far. It's like maybe a 15-foot waterfall. And then, looking downriver, you can see the docks and the bridge. And it's about
Great
I hate
this.
view
to be
here.
the person to bring this up, but I wonder if anyone's ever checked the river.
For a dead
She
body?
said-
Yep, just
Mama Todd
throwing
said
that
she
out
was
there.
alive, but
Just,
that
you know,
is still a good
morbid
question.
thought.
Valid, morbid, yeah.
It's about this time that a gentleman comes in, probably early 50s, dressed in kind of robes, like a bathrobe smoking jacket sort of thing with slippers. Looks to still be in his pajamas, but they seem to be very nice silk pajamas. Is smoking a very long churchwarden pipe. Says, hello, how are you? I am Mr. Carlyle, spellcaster to the mayor, and mage of the city, as it were, although city might be an overstatement. What can I do for you today?
It's definitely not the
I
guy
look
that sat
towards
on me,
Guy.
right?
It is definitely not the guy who said. This guy is cleaned within an inch of his life, so to get him that clean from what sat on your chest, you would need a wire brush. And he has very delicate skin from the looks of it that looks like he probably uses some very
He
nice
exfoliates.
soaps and lotions and such.
He puts the lotion on his skin.
Or it gets the hose again.
Oh, I keep the hose in the basement. I'm sorry. What?
Hmm?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Excuse me? Might have a different
What
thing.
can,
we
what,
can
what
do.
can I do?
Guys.
I'm waiting for you to ask about the girl, and he'll go, was she a big fat girl?
I was wondering if we were going to go there.
No, he just says, what can I help you with? You'll have to forgive me. I'm just kind of rather busy today getting ready for the party this evening. Lots to do. I have to look my best. Representing the mayor, don't you know?
Ah, yes, indeed. I guess we don't want to take too much of your time. I guess we wanted to know what you know about Veronica Marner and her disappearance. We wanted to make sure we got more one-on-one with you in addition to the party later, because you being in service to the mayor and all, I'm sure you're more in touch with the pulse of the people than, say, others.
Well, I've met the young lady at some functions, but that's really about it. I don't think anything's been done more than nodding to each other, her and I. Though when she did go missing a while ago, I did do everything in my power with my arcane skills and such to see if I could locate her, but unfortunately I came up empty-handed.
What?
Insight.
Oh, that's what that. Okay.
Let your die roll out.
Yeah.
As he
But
says that,
actually-
and while as
What
he
was
says
that,
that, and
Trevor?
while I'm sorry, while Nikita's doing that, I just go, "Oh, did you throw bones too?"
Get Bud Trumpet, what were you saying?
I'd like to roll an Arcana check.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. And Carlisle turns to you, Reed, and says, "Bones? Whatever would I be doing with bones?"
Oh, I thought that was how wizards like look for stuff.
Oh
I
no.
think he is a different type.
He's seen some practitioners use augury. You know, sometimes it's bones, sometimes it's tiles. They all have different foci to use.
Oh, perhaps hedge wizards or soothsayers or witches or
In our line of work, sometimes we can't be picky who we have to interact with.
shaman or whatever. But yes, no. Unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball, but I did what I could do. Butt Trumpet, what exactly were you looking to discover with your role?
Oh, just, if maybe not the equivalent of a detect magic, but just kind of trying to get a general vibe as to whether or not this is a type of sorcerer that might have been in a community of any particular kind, or if he's extracting the majority of his knowledge from his anal cavity.
Is he bullshit or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
A charlatan, if you will.
It's an arcane inside.
A charlatan or a charlatan. Got it.
No, not that other one.
You get the feeling that he definitely feels like he knows some magic. But you give me an insight check there as well, Butt Trumpet, please. Ah.
So what does a 10
Oh.
tell us? Yeah.
What you feel is they definitely seems to be familiar with magic, but definitely is big on. Well, you know what? Everyone but Butt Trumpet, take off your headphones, please. You get the feeling that he definitely seems to know some magic, but likes to present himself and speak like he knows a lot more than he probably does.
Mr. Carlisle. So, Mr. Carlisle, we won't trouble you too much. We've heard a couple different things here and there, and we understand that her father did some business in Seven Rivers, and periodically she would accompany him. You may not have had any interactions with her personally, but did you ever do any, maybe, work with her father, perhaps?
Oh, he's come and tried to employ me a number of times, but I've signed a contract with the mayor on behalf of the village, so he didn't take
Nice.
too kindly to that. So he hasn't been very nice to me. So I'm rather glad that I didn't. Actually, he's not a very pleasant individual, I find. Certainly
We
doesn't have the
heard.
manners of a gentleman. That's for sure.
We certainly have heard. The family does not seem to make the best impression on those we've spoken to. Didn't
Well,
want to say anything, of course, but
I don't know about the rest of the family. I've just dealt with him on a few occasions and a few functions, as it were. Kind of forced to do these things as being, a civil servant, as it were, and just not spot on playing good cricket, I would say. What's the word? Bit of a bastard.
Yeah.
yes. We've heard the term before. Yes. Guys.
This contract with the mayor, it specifically says you cannot do any side jobs or any additional work for anyone else.
I probably could. The mayor keeps me rather busy, and I don't want to disrespect my office by doing parliamentary parlor tricks, as it were, for the locals. For instance, I don't do kids' parties, if you know what I mean.
Is that
Yeah,
what he
no.
had asked you to do?
No, he was just rude, actually.
Ah,
And cheap. What he offered me was rather insulting, I must say.
interest.
So you
Do you? I'm sorry.
so
I was just gonna ask if you know about the cat.
The one that occasionally wanders the town.
It's been following us.
Oh, must like you then. I don't know much. I just know it was here long before I got here, as
Did
were the
you-
other cats.
did you notice anything magical about the felines in town at all, Carlisle?
Never thought about it much, actually.
I detected. I was doing a detect magic in the area, and I noticed something arcane about the kitties in the area.
Huh.
There seems to be some kind of, at least from most of them, some kind of celestial touch to them.
Fascinating, I say.
Strange. Well,
Huh.
also that and all the birds. You happen to notice that too, right?
It is a country village. I just thought it was, with farms around, I just thought it was rather natural. Timothy boy, come here a minute. Just a minute, sir.
Hmm.
Timothy comes in and says, yes, sir. What can I do for you? And he has a tray with tea and lemonade, and he puts it down. And there are cups for everybody. He says, feel free to help yourself. And there's a little tray of shortbread on there as well. Mr. Carlisle says, Timothy, do me a favor, will you? I thank you for laying out my clothes on the bed. That's going to make things so much easier for me. But these folk have brought something to my attention that I think this requires some experimentation and some arcane science, as it were. Go out and capture me a cat. A cat, sir? Yes, one of the cats. The blue one would be wonderful if you can catch that one. I think it's
Actually-
right outside. Yes.
Actually, the blue one is different than all the others. So
Oh. Then catch me
You
the
might-
blue cat and another one, if you'd be so kind.
okay.
And Timothy says, okay, sir. I will do my best. And
You're
he
not going to
bows.
hurt the kitties, right?
I will do my best not to, sir. I don't want to hurt anybody. And he takes his leave.
We know.
Anywho.
We know an elf. We know an elf, and if you hurt the kitties,
What? What else?
Oh,
I've
I
heard
will
elves
too.
come after you.
This
Oh,
dwarf
and-
will too.
Elves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anywho, let's not make the interviewee hostile. Thank you for the refreshments, Mr. Carlisle. I guess are you from Seven Rivers originally?
Oh, no. I'm from Ankbar.
Ah, you're from Ankbar. I've been wanting to.
Yeah, I
head
studied
at
down
some
there.
point. Oh, what did you attend a university, or were you apprenticed to a master?
Yes, I was apprenticed to a man named Bigglesfoot.
Bigglesfoot. We know a Bigglesworth, right? I'm not
That was the
misremembering
guard.
names. Oh no, that was that poor unfortunate soul. That's right.
Mm.
Who's? Oh, it's Nickleby.
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 Is our
Nickleby
Barnaby.
was a gnome.
Yes,
Barnaby
that's
Nickleby.
where I'm bad with names. Forgive me. Okay. So
Do
what
wizards
spell-
have like a club? Maybe Mr.
Oh,
Carlisle
yes,
knows
yes,
Mr. Bickle.
Yeah,
Barnaby Nicholson.
Aloysius Bigglesfoot. You'd recognize him if you ever. We have a gentleman's club down there that we all frequent and sit around and smoke our pipes and cigars and have spirits and such and discuss the arcane arts. You'll recognize Mr. Lord Bigglesfoot. He rather large man. Receding hair. He combs it over. It's a little gray.
Ooh.
Very pinkish, forced-looking skin. Very
He does sound
accomplished
like-
as a wizard, but
Unique visage.
yes, smells a little bit. But he's a good teacher.
Oh, May I ask, what is the bouquet?
Body odor, I believe.
Ah, okay.
Lots of
Excellent.
folds in his flesh, as it were.
Oh, okay. That's more information.
Nikita has shoved 2 pieces of shortbread into her mouth just so she doesn't say a fucking word.
Oh,
You give me a perception check there.
Perception?
Yes.
Your specialty.
Yes. At least it's not Constitution. Oh, yeah.
It's very good shortbread.
Excellent.
an excellent poison. Mr. Carlyle, myself, Butt Trumpet here, and also Eldred here, we're all different practitioners of the art. I was curious, you said you tried casting a spell. Sadly, you didn't have a crystal ball, and believe me, I know they're a pain in the ass to find, and then the costs are absorbent. What spell were you using to potentially find her?
Oh, I was trying to use a locate spell. Just curious. Little goblin, could you come here for a minute?
Yes?
He comes up to you and starts like putting his hand kind of touching your ears and such and says,
Nope. Nikita grabs one of his arms.
"Oh, I
Oh,
was
dear.
just curious because I've never seen a blue goblin before. I find that quite interesting."
Yes, Bud Trumpet's visibly uncomfortable, but trying to save face and be polite, but just not really able to make eye contact. Yes, I used to be green. It was sort of a magical accident.
Oh my. I would love to hear that story this evening, maybe at the party. I'd be happy to sit down with you and chat. And I'm terribly sorry, no offense. I was just so curious because such an
None taken.
interesting individual. So I apologize for any offense.
It's all right. It's all right. I know. I'm aware that it's a bit of a rarity. It's just embarrassing. I feel a bit clumsy about it.
We've all made mistakes. No need to be blue about it.
Nikita now regrets not pulling her sword.
Gaius just hands more cookies over to Nikita. Here. Restrain the violence.
Reed shows up at your side.
Oh, dear.
Cookies.
And yeah, sure. And he foists some upon Reed. Well, thank you, Mr. Carlyle. I guess, is there any other avenue? Did you happen to know why the locate spell did not work? Did you notice anything, sense anything? Was the feeling that something was stopping you, or?
No, didn't feel any strange forces or anything. It just didn't seem to work.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, I guess. Does anyone else have any questions? I'm sure you and Butt Trumpet will probably have some more a chat later, perhaps, or whatnot. But I guess we all kind of have to get ready for the party, right?
Yes,
Gotta put
yes,
on
we-
our
Oh.
finest.
Yes,
We'll
for
converse
one
this
of the
evening.
mayor's events, you have to dress in your best. And he kind of looks at you up and down and kind of lingers on you, Nikita, and says, "Yes, women wear the finest gowns that they have here in the village. It's not really... Well, that's a huge overstatement. Just try to look nice.
I'll
Th-
try.
There are... I understand there's a woman in town who makes gowns. But if it's anything like some of the other things other than the furniture in this town or the ale, I would imagine it's probably lacking. But not being someone who wears gowns, I can't speak from experience."
At any of these parties, have they ever had heroes? Because we usually dress in like our armor and stuff, so people know that we're, you know.
I believe
Here.
he sometimes has finger sandwiches or stew.
Oh, The jokes. Man, Carlisle, you are a treat. I can't wait to hear your routine later at the party. Anyway,
I'll be here all night. Try the venison.
I will, because it's fresh caught. I know that for a fact. I helped.
Yes, we certainly need to find good tailors and seamstresses and get fitted for our finest studs this evening. And boy, if we're having this good of a time before the wine starts flowing, just you wait until this evening.
Oh, I can't wait. For
Oh
all the
yes,
awkwardness.
yes. It's they say it's going to be quite the shindig of the year. Truth be told, I think
like
it's the
shindig.
only one this year, but still, that's
Well,
something
then,
to be
It
happy
won't
about.
be hard to meet that expectation then.
This is true.
And I will be on my best behavior.
Allegedly.
You should be, because I believe the guards will be out in force, considering the past year or so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Details. What?
Hmm?
Why?
My compatriot wants to have what exactly has gone wrong. This is
Oh.
Carlisle, the past years. So.
Carlisle hands Nikita a napkin. Well, Forest Grove is actually a very peaceful little village. We seem to, in the past year or so, past couple years, have had two reoccurring incidents. There have been somebody has been spotted at windows and trying to get into houses. On a number of occasions, the mayor has experienced once or twice, but the guards were able to chase the person off.
Did
and
they say
then
what that person looked like?
it was dark and they're shadowy, so they're not sure. But it was of immense concern to the mayor because a number of years earlier, just 4 or 5 years earlier, a number of the residents of the town had family heirlooms stolen. There was a rash over a period of a couple years of each family had 1 or 2 things stolen. Not all the families in town, but a number of them, and in every single case, it was jewelry and seemed to be a family heirloom that had been with the family for quite some time. Now, in truth be told, from what I hear from the mayor, they weren't really anything of any major value, but to these people, they meant a lot.
Jewelry?
Yes.
I'm assuming elegant jewelry like that young women would wear and such.
It would
Like
it would-
watches and things, brooches maybe?
Brooches, yeah, I believe there were a couple brooches, there were a couple rings. I don't remember all the details. It was just a number of families had just come up missing things that had been in the family for ages. And while they weren't
And did-
anything of immense value or anything that would stagger the value of the home, they were very important to these families.
Well, of course. Regardless of what number you could associate with such things, sentimental value usually surpasses that.
Yes, well, in that regard, it was immensely valuable then.
Do you happen to? The shortbread is wonderful, by the way.
Oh,
Spasiba.
thank you. It's a little woman in the back of a farmer's shop. Timothy found it,
Right?
actually.
Really
Yes.
good stuff.
Only makes it about once a month or so.
We'll
She
have
makes
to. Never mind.
pies sometimes, and cookies and muffins, and a lot of good
We will
things.
keep checking.
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember if one of the families was the Marner family? Did they miss something or go missing?
No, I don't think they had anything stolen.
Interesting. Spasiba.
Did you say there was a second
event the last couple of years?
Yeah,
Other than the
the
theft?
person who was peeking in windows and looking like they were trying to get into some
Oh.
houses.
Ooh.
The mayor thought they might be related. It might be the same
Oh.
person looking to steal again, is what
Did
the mayor
anyone get a-
thinks.
Did anyone get a look at them?
No,
Description?
no one really saw anything. Some people heard some rattlings at windows or doors and reported them, and the mayor experienced nothing. Actually, it was the guards who saw someone on the property, and when they called attention to it, the person, from what I gather, ran off quite swiftly. And it was just it was a dark night, so they only saw a faint silhouette for a brief moment before they were gone.
You said it happened 2 recurring incidences, whereas at the same time of year or just twice?
The jewelry thefts happened over a couple years. Different times of the year, nothing that I think some of the things might have been in similar times of the year, but nothing that created a pattern because it seemed to be all year long at various times.
Interesting.
And it was about a year ago that there were a number of sightings or reports of people feeling like someone was trying to break in through a window or a house or a door or something. That incident on the mayor's estate.
Interesting. Spasiba.
That was what was the incident on the mayor's estate?
Just someone on the property who wasn't supposed to be there.
The guards saw possibly chased them off.
Yeah, a figure snooping around.
Oh. Should we ask him about baby Yagas?
He does not seem to like the soothsayer types. Probably not going to be very useful or positive.
Well, I mean, we could get his impression and see if he's even heard of it. We could also ask him
True.
that later as well.
True. Oh, once he's been drinking, da.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Everyone else good?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, briefly. Oh, I thought you were frozen. Sorry. Veronica's mother. Did you ever meet her mother?
I believe she might have been gone before I got here. I'm not 100% sure. Marner doesn't exactly bring his family out on display all that often.
Right.
I think Veronica was the one who probably got out the most. I mean, Marner himself was very rarely here in town. He was all around making business deals, from what I gather.
Interesting.
Or trying to. I really don't know.
That does seem to be something he focuses on.
Eldred says, Mr. Carlyle, I myself am just a beginner spellcaster and trying my best. I don't have very much experience. I was wondering if maybe you might have some advice or guidance or maybe even some spells you'd be willing to share. Oh, how long are you in town, young man? I think we could probably work something out. Obviously not today with the party and such, but we might be here for a few days. I think we're going to be continuing with the investigation, but maybe I could see you later when I have some free time. Oh yes, just check with Timothy, and we'll see if we can fit you in, as it were. What do you think? Oh, that would be very kind, Mr. Carlyle. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
No, add
boys.
Those two seem very
Add
like-minded.
Timothy to the conversation.
What?
Paul, add Timothy to the conversation.
Timothy's
two
out
free
looking for
voices at once.
cats.
Oh God, that's right. No. Poor Timothy, he's going to be eaten alive.
R.I.P. Timothy.
Yeah.
We need another Timmy.
Bring in the spare Timmy.
They're never. It's always a different name, but they're just called Timmy.
It's easier that way. I don't have to remember a bunch of names.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, does anybody else have anything?
Mm-mm.
I'm good.
Good here.
As
Mr.
we go to leave, I am totally gonna elbow Eldred and just be like, "Pfft, you're not a rookie. You're gonna teach me to fly."
And Eldred says, "And mark my word, Reed. One day I will." And
You know, if I'm
Carlos
not
says, "Well,
around, I can't unsplat him, right?
you can't unsplat from a distance. No.
Or if the bits get too spread apart.
Right.
I kind
Or
of
if they're
need
left
to-
out in the sun for too long, also. Carlisle said, "Well, I hope I was helpful. I look forward to seeing all of you at the party tonight. It should be quite a do. I look forward to it, and it's always good to get some party food and drink, and maybe there might even be dancing, from what I hear. I think
Ooh.
I understand the mayor has hired some musicians, so I really am looking forward to this."
It should be a very good time. We look forward to it as well.
Oh, good. Well, don't be strangers. Have a good evening, and I'll see you this evening.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Spasiba.
Carlisle.
Take
My
care.
pleasure. I guess I'll have to see you out, won't I? Because Timothy's not here. Okay.
Oh, we
We can
can
close the
find
door behind it.
Oh no, that wouldn't be polite. So I'll just walk you out myself. I'm going to need to head upstairs anyway, so I'm going to have to leave this room anyway. It shouldn't be too troubling. He leads you out, opens up the door, and says, "You need time to get yourself washed up and gussied up and get the best clothes you possibly can that Forest Grove has to offer. So I wish you the best."
I
Spasiba.
always have a good clean pair of vestments. Actually, I still have the ones that are not all messed up from when I went and saw the Baron that one time.
As you all go out, he shuts the door behind you. And where are you headed?
But right as he's shutting the door, I say, "Remind me tonight to tell you when Guy has had his pants stolen. It's a good story."
The door just pauses for a brief second and then shuts.
I say we're on our way to get ready for the party then?
Yes,
Good point.
that seems.
Is the
Seems
cat
like a good
waiting
idea.
for us?
The cat
Have you?
is not out there. You don't see him.
Oh, might have
Timmy
chased.
got him.
Timothy might have chased the poor thing off. Shit.
And it's just as you say that off between some buildings, you see something flick across, and about 5 seconds later, you see a young man with shirt tails and everything hanging out and hair kind of in a mess running after, following.
Poor Timothy.
He's fucked.
He is not going to get that cat.
Nope.
Good luck, Blue.
Do any of
Run
you,
like the wind, Blue.
So, do any of you have any unusual plans to get ready for this party?
Not for the party, but I just want to maybe go by the knitting lady and find a blue blanket.
Yeah, not
Mhm.
apart from just needing some clothes, but nothing crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't want anybody sitting on my chest tonight when I sleep. So
Okay,
I'm
so
hoping that helps.
Reed and Butt Trumpet are going to head over to Ms. Castaverde's?
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
You go
I
in
just
there.
want to wash my clothes. Oops, sorry.
Okay, so that can be, Mr. Sunnyday can provide a small kind of wash tub for you with some soapy water.
With a smile on his
Perfect.
face, I'm sure.
No,
Always.
you're getting the wash tub with the soapy water, I think.
Anyway,
He's smiling. He's smiling on the inside.
There you go.
Yes.
So Reed and Butt Trumpet, you find yourself over at Miss Castaverde's, and what exactly are you looking for?
I just want a blue blanket for sleeping
Okay.
for me.
Make sure it's the right color blue.
Yes.
Um,
I'm trying to
she-
find something that matches the right color blue as best as possible.
Okay. She has a quilt that has blue in it, but nothing that's a solid color blue.
But Trumpet, do you think this would work? To
Blue
keep
is
away
blue.
the-
I think they can sense the vibes.
Okay.
And again, if you feel more comfortable with me just kicking my little feet on your bedside table, let me know.
Yeah, but you
Doesn't
gotta
get much
sleep
bluer
too.
than this.
But you have to sleep too, so I don't know. How much
The
would this?
offer is open.
Thank you. How much would this be, Mrs. Castaverde?
Oh, I understand you're a celebrity, so why don't we say 8 copper?
Oh, thank you. I will take it.
Okay. You notice it's kind of a quilt for what looks like might be a children's bed.
Okay, that works.
And what about
Well-
you, my little blue deer?
Well, it turns out that there's a party that I am to attend tonight, and darn it all, I have no adorable party clothes. And I don't know anyone who makes them for my size, so I don't suppose any children's party clothes would apply here that you'd maybe have available.
She kind of squints her eyes at you a little bit, and then a big smile comes across her face. Hold on a minute. And she reaches behind the counter, pulls out a tape measure, and just starts measuring every little aspect of you. I think I have something. I just want to make a few alterations. If you can give me 2 hours, you'll still have a half hour before the party. And
Okay.
you- Very good. Give me a silver piece and I will eat the rest.
Yep.
You give her a silver?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I only gave Gaius my gold, and I still had some silver pieces in my pocket.
Okay. You see her kind of rub her hands together with that big smile and says, okay, go, go, go. I've got work to
Oh,
do.
going.
We're
boy.
staying at the Sunny Day Inn.
Okay.
When we
so-
get outside, when we get outside, I say to Butt Trumpet, How much money is she eating?
It's a. Never mind.
Okay.
As you go out, you see one cat in the little area around a bird bath and a little kind of archway that has a lot of vines woven in amongst it, with all these blooms coming off of it. And then you notice a couple more out in the street, kind of just wandering around Miss Castaverde's premises.
I say hello to pretty much every one of them as we walk by. Hello. Hello. Hello.
They all kind of put their head up and the tail straight in the air and just kind of strut past you. One even kind of rubs up against your leg and just kind of slithers past.
I am friends with animals.
Give me a perception check there, Reed.
Ooh, 20.
Okay.
Hey.
As you do that, you seem to notice some crows on some other houses and trees and such. Just kind of their attention seems to be focused on you when you do that.
You seeing what I'm seeing, Butt Trumpet?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let Gaius know.
Ordinary cats. Yep.
Yeah.
Be sure to report that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Other affirmative words.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I gotta wash my clothes.
Okay.
And I gotta twiddle my thumbs.
And why don't we call it an evening there, and then next week we will have a party, friends. We're glad you could join us this evening. We stream every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're usually on time. Tonight we had some definite issues, but that's a rarity. We've gotten better with it. You can also find us on YouTube. Our channels are Grognard and Friends, all one word. Subscribe, follow, thumbs up, all those things help. It doesn't really do anything for you, but it means a lot for us. We would love to have you as a new friend. Tune in next week. Same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. And whatever you do, wherever you go, the world has gotten pretty mean and violent and just downright mad. So if you do nothing else, be kind.